Who, me?
Yeah.
Can't tell you why. Okay, looks like we have started. Welcome, everybody. This is webinar number 41,
Yeah,
August
that's right.
2025.
So 41. Well, we did them once a month at first, so it's really hard to tell exactly when we started them, right?
Yeah, when was our first?
It had to be 2019 or so 2020. That's when we started them.
Yeah, well, no, we started around COVID, didn't we?
In fact, I actually have the first
COVID
one
was the
right
reason we started.
5 years ago, it says. I don't think it gives a specific date.
I could look it up. So, anyways, I'll give everybody a chance to enroll here. I'm gonna check the studio really quick. Oops. And that way I can say for certain. Let's see when our first webinar was. Rose 30. Webinar, our official one we're happy with was webinar number 2, July
Yep,
22nd, 2020.
July 22nd.
All right. So for those who are not aware, you want to announce it?
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
So those of you who are not aware, this last newsletter was our 10th anniversary, our 10 years of doing the newsletters. So congratulations to us.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
There's our balloons.
These are balloons. There are balloons. Yay.
Yay.
And
10
see, there's
years.
even more. But wait, there's more. I'm going to wear
Oh,
this
you
the
have a hat.
whole.
No, I didn't actually get a hat. Right.
Yeah,
I
see?
did bring this
See?
out.
We do this for you people.
I
There we go.
should have put a ball on there.
Yay.
Yay. Oh, that was
Yay!
a failure.
Yay! There we go.
Wow, the audio didn't even come through on that.
That's okay. They're coming through here. I'll be doing this for the rest of the webinar.
Intermittent through the show.
Yes, the cleaning lady's gonna be mad.
So yes, this is our 10-year, first of our 10-year, beginning of our 10th year.
Yeah. It was delayed a week because there were people that were on vacation here, and just in case we needed a verification code or something, we figured we'd wait a week, make you guys wait one more week. I know it was hard for everybody.
Yep. Welcome to, hello, Joe from Belgium, Flanders. Welcome. He's on our YouTube channel.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you're the one that's logged into that, not me. I
Yeah.
don't.
So if I
Log
miss
into
your questions, you guys can all blame me.
And Mr. Liebenberg says congratulations on our 10 years and thank you very much. A diamond, yeah. You know what, Norbert? I was wondering. He says it's a diamond anniversary, and I was wondering what anniversary it was. Now I know. Thank you. We could only find gold numbers, apparently. Oh, and there we go. Got to get the disco ball spinning. There we go.
Well,
Ooh.
I tried to get as red a background as I could.
Well,
Make
now
sure
you're gonna have
Marklin
to
red.
remake your bed when you go to sleep tonight.
Yeah, no, just like last night was a cold night.
Oh, tin or aluminum is the traditional gift. Yeah, I like doing the traditional gifts. Um, Modern gift is often a diamond. Yes. So yes, the traditional gifts are more fun. They're more varied, I think. John Cayley from my SoCal chapter says, great to see us both since Eurowest. We were both at Eurowest, and
Yeah, that
sure
was
we'll have some.
that was second week in July. That was
Yes.
fun.
Oh,
Had a good time.
I forgot this.
I
Nothing but
don't
the best around here.
I don't know why that slipped my mind when I was there at the party store yesterday.
I had to go to two stores for all this stuff
Did you?
because we don't have a party store here.
Oh, they didn't.
So.
Well, you know, I was about to put on a pirate outfit, so
It's not quite that anniversary, is it?
yeah, no, it doesn't quite fit into the situation here. Anyways, well, it's thank you guys for definitely being part of our show. Obviously, we're just starting. We're just getting started here
For today.
for today. We thought maybe what do we had a little bit of a small amount of planning ahead. We're going to talk about our history
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
how we
well, I think before we get into all of that, I think we should at least cover the newsletter so that the people who, you know,
got. Okay.
don't
Yeah. Why don't
want
we
to
do that first then?
participate. Yeah.
Yeah. You guys don't need to hear our history. It's like showing family photos. So, all right.
Um,
Did we haven't had a new update since the last webinar, so we're kind of clean there.
no, and we're gonna make
We're
sure
still
we can
in,
chat because I know.
and let's just check our info. Where's my device? So just so you guys know, as far as the CS3 is concerned, we are still software version 2.5.2 parentheses 6. And I don't really know what the we actually have noticed
Is our chat turned off somehow or another?
no, our chat should be on, but I don't think anybody's using it yet. The
I just
questions
got
and
a
answers are open.
the questions and answers are open. So if you want to sort of say chat, you can do it in questions and
Oh,
answers.
here, I'll
How's that?
put a test message in the chat. Chat.
Because I don't.
Yeah, I believe that's working fine. We don't usually have an issue with that, but you can change it who you need to address if you need to address somebody else or just the hosts. It says
Says
it's still on,
disabled at the
it's
bottom of the
disabled
chat.
on yours. Let's check it.
I don't see it. I got your chat.
I wonder if the chat is a personal setting, but we have it enabled here. Oh, hang on. Panelists can chat with hosts and panelists. Oh, there you go, folks. Now you go. Attendees can chat with everyone. You guys qualify as everyone, so now it should be available. Yep. Thanks, John. Thanks for verifying.
Thanks.
Okay, so yeah, CS3 still 2.5.2 parentheses 6, mobile station, or the CS2 4.3.0 11. Thank you, Carlos. He says congrats for 10 year. Mobile station is 4.15, and the wireless is 4.27.0.13.
Yeah, that's
a long number.
strange one.
Yeah.
All right, we got a question here from Rick saying, "Is there an order number for those Marklin balloons hanging behind Rick?" Yes. For you, it's order number 1. Yeah. Those are like a promo we get. I might have a couple.
He'll send them in. He'll send them to you, Rick, with all the hot air you need.
I might have a couple to spread around, but you know,
Yep. So
yeah, there's a part
there's a
number on them. So
there's a product number on there. There you
I
go.
have to double check to make sure people can order it. But it might just be like a dealer only thing.
Get your party going there.
Carlos, thank you for the 10-year.
Yep.
Congrats. All right.
Okay. So chat window's open, everything's up. All right. So yeah, we did the updates. Any other news?
No, I mean, we can get into any kind of news when we get
Yeah.
past the newsletter. How's that?
All right. So should we just get right into it?
Let's get the business over with so we can start the party.
Get the business out of the way. What's our time?
Oh, is there anybody here in the live, so to say, attendees that are in the Great Lakes chapter of ETE? Raise your hand. How's that? Want to know if we have any of those gentlemen in the chapter, because we just saw them. We were in Novi, Michigan for the NMRA. Curtis and I did the show. And did you know, Curtis, that Novi, I think it's Novi, I could be wrong. The reason that the city is called that is apparently because it is the number 6 stop on the railroad. Station is. So NO and then Roman numerals VI. Novi.
Oh, I did not know that. Where'd you pick
That's
up
cool.
that tidbit? Yeah, yeah. So that's good. That's awesome.
At least that's what I heard. I could be wrong. How's that?
It's a good guess.
Well, no, somebody told me, but they could just totally be smoking me. So anyway, let's get into it. How many of you got the new Rio Grande? This is kind of funny how this article came about, and I don't think Curtis even knows that. I have my article written. I had actually turned it in for this newsletter, and then I received this locomotive and started playing with it and noticed the lighting functions were
Oh,
kind of sparse, let's say.
sparse.
Yes. The headlight turns on and that's it. And I'm thinking, I knew it wouldn't have sound, but I'm thinking it should have more. And so this is where I come into the newsletter. Is I saw that it's got a modern LED light panel in there with 4 different LEDs on it, and they're all wired. So all you have to do is change a few settings in the central station,
Yeah.
or I'm sorry, in the settings of the locomotive through the central station, and you can get all your light functions working.
Oh, is that
So
right?
let me pull up the newsletter
Please do.
for all to see. And
So
here's the
that's the
new Rio
circuit part
Grande.
of it.
And this Rio Grande, I mean, I've always liked this paint scheme for some reason. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. The word Rio Grande and the yellow and silver. I like the original one too. It's one of my favorites. One of my 2 favorites
Yeah.
of the F7s. And so I figured I'd kind of do a review of it, so to say, and what I found in the lighting. So when you let me enlarge this a little bit for people. When you get this, I believe only the 2 main headlights turn on, and they just turn on just regular brightness, which is fine. And I thought, the number boards aren't even lit. So I open it up, and here's the circuit board,
Yeah.
and it's got the number board lights and individual headlights.
Can you zoom in on that photo?
Certainly.
There you go.
Resistors, LEDs, everything.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So, I turned it around and look at the backside, and you can see that everything is wired. Let me get over here. You can see the whole thing is wired to F functions right in here. So I figured, okay, well, let's see if I can get them to work. And changing a few settings, just remapping some settings, and they work. So they, first I verified that there was actual conductivity going all the way through from the circuit board with the lights all the way to the decoder, and I just wanted to make sure that it could light up. I didn't want to just do a bunch of changes to the decoder and then find out there's no wiring going to it, or it's not wired for it.
Sure.
So at that point, it's just a matter of remapping, and I played with it a little bit and got the lights to work. So once I did get it to work, okay, well, I'm going to set them so that they work correctly now, which is, I like the feature of a Mars light. So one of the lights can be a Mars light. I believe the top light is the Mars light. I could be wrong. I'd have to, pull mine out to actually
I
check
believe
that.
so. I believe so, as far as I remember.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny because the headlight, what we are calling the headlight, the bottom light, is actually auxiliary 3, not the forward headlight. And the Mars light is the headlight in the settings for the central station. So you can see up in this up here, F0 lights the front light and auxiliary 3. And so auxiliary 3 is the headlight, front light is the Mars light. At least that's the way I configured it. I could be wrong, but I went and checked online and looked and see which one online that actually turns to the Mars light. So that's the way I did it. In the
What about
article, I just go through the steps of how to change the settings. You delete front light from F0, leaving auxiliary 3. And then I added to F1, I added auxiliary 3, I believe it is. Yeah. So F2 became auxiliary 2, which were the marker lights and the number board lights. Once you get those assigned and working, then it's just a matter of changing the output of the function, which was, well, adding an icon, add the correct icons, which you just select which one you want for which light. The F1 light icon here is actually the correct light for the Mars light. It's generally what Marklin uses for the Mars light. Obviously, F2 is a number board that goes back to the old big boy. 4013 is on it, and that's the icon they used. Now, you want them all to be switching functions so they turn on and stay on. Excuse me. So once that's done, it's just a matter of setting the output. So I set the output as the front light is the Mars light with a period of 20. The period is going to be how long it takes to turn on and off. Auxiliary 2 is fade in, fade out, which I generally do fade in and fade out for the lights to turn on. And I made it slightly different for auxiliary 3, which is the headlight, I believe. Auxiliary 2 is the number board lights. So they wouldn't actually come on at the same time or take the same amount of time to turn on, because I assume they would be different light bulbs elements inside there that would take longer for the bigger headlight to turn on. And that's basically it. I mean, I'm not going to go through step by step on how to do this in this article because the article tells you this. All you have to do is, read it and follow along. But I started thinking about how, or actually not how, but why Marklin did it this way. And I summarize it here. And I didn't ask the factory, but I started thinking the reason they did this is because it's kind of um, a retro reissue, slightly different paint scheme, but the original one only had the two headlights. So I believe the factory chose to do it this way. That way anybody can configure it the way they wanted, whether they want it to look like their old ones, when they're younger, or if they wanted the modern lighting, because it is all wired. So that's kind of what I thought, and that's kind of what I'm going with as far as why they did it. So that is basically my reasoning for it. So I have a question if I have a before and after picture. No, I didn't do a before and after picture of this. Believe it or not, I wrote this article so fast that I believe it went out because I started writing on a new master form that we do our newsletters on. And there was a typo in that. I think it says Jume, Jume, not June, which I had fixed in the original one. But then when I redid it, I forgot to fix that. So no comments on the typos, please.
What about the rear lights?
There are no rear lights.
Yeah, I was just testing you.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can make the headlight, all those lights be on in forward and reverse. I chose to just keep them on in forward so that they would turn off in reverse. Um, because that's the way the original was. So
Yeah, I was looking at the wiring on there. I was wondering if they used, because orange would be the normal common,
yes,
and then the gray wire is actually your headlight. So the other two wires have to be your Mars light, and one of them is for your number boards. So that's cool. And I suppose if you wanted to, at one point, you could always swap out that 21 pin and put in a
a
sound.
sound decoder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned that. And as for a sound decoder, this solder pad right here, if you can see this square, let me actually make it a little bit smaller. Stop it. These solder pads right here are speaker solder pads
Yeah.
for anybody that might want to put a sound decoder in it. I probably will eventually. I have an awesome F7 sound file that I have created over the years in replacing the the decoder in the Santa Fe Super Chief
Yeah.
that came out in 2016 or so.
The pad pairing on the top, um, it looks sharper than the original, the earlier ones on the hood.
Yeah, the printing on it is just amazing. I mean, this I just got this picture from the website. Very nice detail in the original um on the locomotive from the factory, this new release, I guess. It's got the handrails on it on the front, above the head, I'm sorry, above the windshields. The originals didn't have that kind of detail. I think they only had the handrails outside the doors here on the original, maybe the back ones, I forget. I'd have to go and look at mine.
I think
But
the original ones were molded in, weren't they?
some of them were at first, but they did start putting them on. I seem to recall the Rio, I'm sorry, the the at least some version of the Union Pacific, I think it had handrails. I could be wrong. And Kevin's asking if there's some documentation that shows what is connected to which auxiliary output. You know, unfortunately, I did not document this stuff that well because I
Yeah,
did
they're
write this
not.
article so fast.
They, I mean, it's just kind of like they have standard outputs, but
Yeah.
especially if you go to you get the aftermarket decoder, and they won't really tell you what they're connected to directly, because you know you can wire things up whatever way you want. There's no standard, so the easiest thing to do, obviously, is if you have a voltmeter, you can use it to just kind of see what the output is, or just, you know, it's pretty easy to tell. But yeah, they don't. They're not usually listed. And besides that, as Rick article kind of points out, you can reprogram them kind of any way you want. So it's not really in strict adherence to output one or two sometimes.
Yeah, there's a basically the standard. Looking at the picture now, there's a standard gray and orange is the ground, um, so to say. Gray is the headlight output, and then there's brown and green and brown and yellow. And I don't have a wiring diagram right now to which was I believe the brown and green is the um, auxiliary 2 and brown and yellow is auxiliary 3. I could
Yeah,
be wrong.
yeah. What you can do is if you go to marklin.com and you just type in you know like MSD3 or MLD3 for their decoders.
Mhm.
The manuals are online, and that can actually tell you what their internal mapping is. So I would probably do that myself. You know, when you're checking out stuff. So
So, all right, Curtis, if you want to, are you, is, I didn't have a chance to look at your article,
why?
unfortunately.
You only
Are
read it
you,
when it's nappy time.
yeah, I use it, late at night when I'm trying to sleep. Is this the final one?
No, the last one is because. All right, we'll take over here. My We're still discussing a transfer from a CS2 layout to a CS3, and everything else is pretty much finished except for the shuttle system that he had, and I will show the layout beforehand. So this is the layout. This is the shuttle, and basically it's a two train shuttle that meets in the midway point, and each train reaches the end point, makes a reverse, and comes back as a shuttle would. The difficulty here is it's not a shuttle macro as they had in the CS2 or us also in the CS3 where you just have a single train going back and forth. And the reason is that this can't be done in that manner is because you really can't tell which train is at which end. If you have two trains traveling, I mean, you can visually see it's going, but the system has no way of knowing which train is hitting the end point here. And we had something rudimentary here where I can kind of track in the CS2, but this was back sort of when their programming is still rather primitive, so it didn't work that easily. And the other side, the other downside, it was like I wouldn't see this layout in a year, and then I'd going during the annual or yearly show where he wants to run it, and couldn't even remember how we set this thing up. So I said this is going to be easier if we do it in a CS3 anyways, which in the end it actually ended up being easier to program. This article, as you kind of mentioned, Rick, this is not the last article, just because the setup in this middle station, even though it's rather simple is actually more complex because I'm prepping each travel for the endpoint so that we can actually figure out what's going on. So I'm going to try to be brief with this. If you guys have read it and you have questions, please type it in the chat, and I will answer it as I kind of go through the article. So let's see, just trying to get to the right page. Whoops. Here we go. So to begin with, you can see sort of all the event scripts were previously there. And this kind of gets difficult. So again, the issue with it is we don't really know which trains are going at which point. But there are two main things. When you have the two locomotives, wow, this is really screwy when it comes to scrolling. There are two things, oh, dang it, page down. There are two things that we need to know. Since I'm trying to control two locomotives, I don't really need to necessarily control them absolutely. I just need them to stop when I need to, and I need them to reverse direction and proceed at a speed. So I have two events for my two locomotives, and one is labeled Loc 1 and the other one will be Loc 2, and it's either in a stop or go state. So these are just events that I'm primarily fixed. These are going to be nested, which I'll explain in a minute. So you can see these are for one locomotive, and you just generate one for whatever locomotive you want. You just create an event and it will stay in manual mode. And this one's programmed to stop that locomotive. The other one here, and you can see it's labeled Loc 1 Go. It has the locomotive itself, and then I actually have this option for direction change. If you have this step and you open it up, you can actually program it to either be one direction or the other direction, or in this case, which is more flexible than a shuttle, whatever direction this is, this step is going to reverse the direction of that locomotive, which comes in really handy for this shuttle. And then this last block here is basically your speed setting for what speed you want that locomotive to go. So the benefit here is, like, if you ever need to change locomotives, you open up this edit box. You're going to have to open up both of these if you're going to edit one locomotive. And you click on this and you'll actually have a locomotive list of all your locomotives that are in your that are stored in your CS3. These will remain the same with the exception of, obviously, the names will automatically change down here in the bottom, because you can see that this is set up for VT 08. And you want to change that. And as you run your shuttle, you may say, well, this speed setting is incorrect for this locomotive. We pop right into here and you can just change that setting. This setting, by the way, is going to be the same for both directions. So if you're trying to do something where you have a locomotive that actually goes at a different speed in reverse, I can't really tell you how to program that. And it's going to be more difficult, because then you actually have to be able to distinguish which direction that the locomotive is heading. So we don't cover that. We're just trying to keep this fairly simple. Now, the midline depot, which is this, why does it skip all the way to that one beginning part? Very annoying. So these lines are set. Right-hand travel, train going this way is always going to be here. Train coming this way is always going to be on this right-hand side. So this is fairly easy. And the weird part about it is this is an internal cycle. It's a continuing loop. So how you get these trains to stop are set at a different point. And there are various points where you can do this, but we'll kind of get around to that. But the main thing here is we want both trains to stop at this midline depot here. And the idea is that if one gets here early, we want it to wait until the other train shows up, and then we can proceed. So that's the main thing, because you really don't have to match speeds. You just want to know that a train is going to stop here automatically, either line, and it's going to wait for the other train to come in. So that's our first process here. So to set that up, how that works is that we have one contact on one line, and you can see this one's going to be 23. We won't worry about this post number. These parentheses numbers are basically a reference from the CS2 because as I said earlier, which, it's easy to forget, this is a transfer of data from a CS2. And these numbers here on the right were what the CS2 listed them as. And since I transferred all that information, I needed to know which actual contact I was dealing with without having to always go back to the CS2. So this 23 and 25 are my two contact points in the middle station. And if I can get back to that without having to miss the scrolling. Okay, and you can kind of see here, 23, 24. Let me actually pull up my CS3. So let me change the share here. And we will go to the CS3 itself. And you're going to actually see somewhat of the finished product here. I didn't really want to reveal this, but for information here. Okay, we're going to meet that call here. You can see 23 is this contact up here, and 25 is this one. So essentially what that event says is that when this one gets triggered, it's going to check if this one is activated or occupied. That's how we kind of set that up. So this is our first step, just to know when the other locomotive shows up. I have a reverse script that does the same thing. When 25 gets triggered, it's going to first check to see if 23 is occupied or not. And we will now go back to the other article, back to the article. So kind of going down. So this is what these events are for. Now this is just strictly to know when the other train shows up. Now, the reason why we want this is our very first evaluation. Because once this is shown to be true, because if the train isn't there, then it's going to ignore this trigger. So if you think about it, the first train that comes here, the train won't be there, so it will ignore this event. But once 25 gets triggered, again, reverse these positions, 23 will be in occupation, and then I can actually program the rest of the event. And you can kind of see that down in the bottom portion here. So let me scroll down just a little bit. Ooh. Okay, so you can see here, this fills out that just event I just showed you. 23 is checking for 25 that's full. And the opposite, 25 is checking to see if 23 is occupied. Once these are both true, or, basically that's what happens, this is occupied, then it goes to this event, which I nested, and that is this one above. And it says midline depot departure, and this is nested. These are both the same event, and that event is this one here at the top, midline depot departure nest. And so what that means is the moment both trains arrive in the station, I program in an arrival delay. So think of it as miniature plastic people transferring trains or getting off. So there's a delay. And then the next step is both of these signals, 65 and 64, are set to release. And these are both sort of triggered by a braking module right here, or these signals. Either way, a braking module or these signals. And you see, these are preset to stop. So the trains will always stop here. That event that I just explained releases these to go, and then the trains can depart in their respective directions. So this is just how we program the midline depot to stop trains and get them to go. Now, this is just the first step here. And this is, let's see. This is generally how we need to stop both trains in the station. And I'm trying to remember exactly what I did here. This just stops one train. Yeah, we also have parallel events here. And what this is now is these are both triggered by the same events. Now, Actually, correction. So essentially what happens is if you look at our contact points, and let me go back to my CS3 screen, and sorry if I'm losing some of you folks. Again, if you have questions, just feel free to ask. So we're going to go to the CS3 here. So that first event that I described, we basically have both of my trains in contact. And you can see when I activate this, give it some time if it's going to work here. You see how they both set to go? Now the trains are released. Now this bottom step on the right, which I'll get back to, once this train is vacant, in other words, it leaves this contact, it sets this signal to stop. And you see how that set it to stop? So it turns off and it goes off. There's a delay in here. So the reason why I had a delay is just in case the train's being pushed. So here's another one that's got a delay, and it sets this signal to stop. So this is how we preset it so that the train will always stop at this station. And that is what is happening in this step here, this bottom one here. This is a departure tag, and you can tell the difference because of this little plus sign, this contact sign. It's when the train makes contact, and this one here is when the train departs that contact, and it sets a delay, and it sets that respective stop to halt. Okay, so that's how we set up the middle depot. Now, this is where the article gets long again, is because that's just handling the arrival and departure of the depot.
You mean
Now
now it's getting long?
Yeah, now it's getting long. It's because this is just kind of hard to explain. We have two different states, or basically four different states. Is our Loc 1 heading to Station 1, or is Loc 1 heading to Station 2? And is Loc 2 heading to Station 1, or is Loc 2 heading to Station 2? So you can kind of think of these in pairs, because if Loc 1 is heading to Station 1, then by logic, Loc 2 should be heading to Station 2, right? So the order here on this page isn't really set in stone. It's just that's what happens. Loc 1 is going to Station 1. Loc 2 is going to Station 2. Reverse, if Loc 2 is heading to Station 1, then Loc 1 should be heading to Station 2. So these are conditions. And to set these things up, I create a controlling contact. And you can see how I've added these here. And what is a controlling contact? A control contact is sort of like a contact track, but it has no track entity. In other words, it's not wired to anything on the layout. It is basically a software construct that we can use to show status. And the control contacts cannot be used to actually activate triggers. So if I press on one of these up here, it's not going to do anything. Even if I programmed it into an event, they do not work. Events are triggered by track items. So like this contact here would trigger one thing or another. So you can see how I did these pairings, Loc 1 to Station 1, or is Loc 2 going to Station 1? And these are always going to be opposite. In other words, when these are gray, these will be yellow. If this is gray, this is going to be yellow. And you can see how the logic is. Is Loc 1 going to Station 1? This is Station 1. Is Loc 2 going to Station 2? This is Station 2. The reverse is true. If this Station 2, if the Loc 2 is going this way, it's going to be lit here, and Loc 1 is going to be lit here. Now these are basically programmed by a trigger. And again, I created these controlling contacts to sort of read, and this is going to be backwards because there's a little bit of looping that goes back and forth. The trigger for this event happens later in the article. And essentially what's going on here is let me pull it over to the left. Gee, I'm having trouble scrolling this window. It's basically asking if the icon for Loc 2 to Station 2 is on, then I want to switch it so that it says Loc 2 is going to Station 1, and I need to turn this one off. So this is reading if this is on. If it's on, I want to turn it off, which is happening over here, and I want to turn this one on. So this kind of programming happens for all 4 of these contacts. And this is where it can kind of get, like I said, Rick, you always put this on my face. It's confusing. Everything happens in this if container. And the if container has its own set of conditions. So this is where everything gets muddy, because trying to define conditions and explain what conditions are can be confusing. So we're going to bounce around a little bit here. Our first condition is to basically determine if these settings are both active. And that's the and. So it's actually looking to see is Loc 1 to Station 1 and Loc 2 to Station 2 on. And that's what I set here. This is nested into this if macro because we're going to use an if macro. And if you haven't dealt with an if macro, it basically looks like this when you first create it. It's got a container, an if container. Basically, it contains all your conditions, which are these 2 icons. And if this is the way it's set, in other words, Station 1, Loc 1 is on, and Loc 2, Station 2 are on, then it can proceed to one of these 2 options. Now, the way these things works in programming logic is that if this is true, then this container then is what takes place. If this is not true, in other words, these are not yellow, but they're gray, then it goes to the else command, container else. Okay, so, but we have to preset these events, and that's what we do here. I created an and macro. I added my 2 conditions because it's the only way you can have multiple conditions. And then I had to create my then and else conditions. So basically what happens is it sets Loc 1 to Station 1, Loc 2 to Station 2. Remember, these are opposites, so these are both off. And it turns these on. And the vice versa, the reverse of that is true here. These are both on and these are both off. Okay, so again, this is really great. And this is another reason why I stopped this article here, because it just gets really kind of confusing. And so what happens is this is triggered essentially by the exit point. And I don't think maybe I missed this in the article. When the trains depart, okay, and this is the MLD departure nest. Sorry, let me go scroll up and down. This scrolling is very annoying. This if container, this if macro, I believe, is actually placed in the MLD departure nest here as well. So it just basically what it's doing is it's checking the status, and this is just for tracking folks. Again, it's really kind of rough. You'll kind of finish it off in our next article, which basically how it looks is it's the result of the entry point, which I will show you how that works.
So it's not over yet.
No, the slow death is not over. Believe me, it's not over. So you can actually see. Now let's see. Hopefully, I can get this to work properly here. I have Loc 2 to Station 1 and Loc 2 to Station 2. So let's see what happens. I'm going to just kind of run through the cycle a little bit here. See if I remember how to do that. Okay, so you can see it changed right here, right? So there's departure. I'm just kind of running a visual cycle. Like if I come off, that means the train's moving, reaches this point. Oops, reaches that point. These release. It comes off there. And this releases. You see how that sets itself to stop. So this is all about the midline depot. And you can see that this is Loc 1 is heading towards Station 1. So Loc 1 is basically coming here. And Loc 2 is heading towards this one. So this should be Loc 1. Nothing happens. But I do have, and again, this is going to be covered in the next article. But essentially, I stopped the train here, and it's waiting for the train on this side before it proceeds. And there you go. Of course, it zooms in. Okay. So this will be in the final article. Trains leave that station, and you see now we've got Loc 1, Station 1. That was what we had before. We're coming in here. I love the little screen errors.
Is this going to be on the final?
No, there's no testing on this. I'm lucky if you guys understand what's going on. I'm lucky if I
I
understand
do.
what's going on. You see right there, it just changed. See, these are the departures. I hit the departure, but it doesn't change the icon. The screen VNC viewer is a little slow, but you can see how this switches position. So now Loc 1 is heading to Station 2. So that's pretty much it. I having to explain this when it's halfway done is tough, but it's what the article was. You can see how it cycles through. And it actually worked really well at his display, and it was easier to program. And I also actually put instructions here for changing locomotives, which I think we'll cover that in the next article. So
Yeah, well, the CS2 shuttle macro was very simple and very nice. All in all, it made things really simple. You couldn't do anything custom, really, like Curtis is doing in this route. He's basically taken a shuttle and made it a route that goes back and forth in a loop, so to say. So good
yeah,
job.
I mean, the shuttle macro on the CS3 is almost as easy once you get used to it. If you guys are not familiar with that, I can show you
Oh
how
God, not today.
the Shuttle 3 macro. No, it's easy. It's all about containers. So if you
I
go,
don't remember. I'm sorry, folks. I'll take partial responsibility for this.
it's your damn fault. So we'll just add a macro here. Macro shuttle. We've covered this before, so
Oh, good. Thank you. So to refer to our last
yeah,
newsletter article about
yeah.
it.
If you have a mod, you just have all these containers. The container loco just has which locomotive you want to run. You have a start and an end point, and you set the speeds here. You have a middle point, which is the midline depot. But the thing is, you can't run this with two trains. There's no control. Your trains will just crash
Right.
into each other. So,
And that was what made this different is he wanted two trains going on the shuttle at the same time.
yeah. So, yeah. See, you didn't have to suffer through that too long, but you did have to suffer.
Oh, yeah.
All right. What else do we got? Now we're out of that.
Is
Any
it party
questions,
time?
by the way? We should check if anybody has questions about anything. It doesn't have to be about my article.
Please, not about the article. Please, God, please.
All right. So, what else are we gonna do? Do we do our
You want some
normal
pictures?
routine? You want to show pictures, and then well, we got our options. We can do what's in the box, or we can do
Let's
show
do that
pictures.
later. Let's show some pictures through the years. How's that?
Yeah, sounds good to me. I'm gonna close out.
Nothing like nothing like someone else's vacation pictures.
Yeah, there you go. Where do we start? Where do you want to start with? Do you want to go through history?
You want to go through before we started with Marklin?
We can, or how we sort of built up our association to be with Marklin. So I kind of got more involved within it one when I met Rick, which was the downfall of my life.
Your downfall. It was just a cliff for me.
But then through Rick, I got connected with a little bit with Eurowest and the and the show where we met Tom Catherall. So, and here's one of should I show this one first? This is one of our first meetings with Tom, and well, not our first meetings. We had actually gotten to know him for a little bit, but we have this picture here. He was in-store event for our local train show or train store in Redwood City, which is no longer there. And I don't know if you have a clear picture of that, but we're messing around. This wasn't the actual picture on the brochure, by the way. So,
That's actually a picture we took. It was soon after um, he had something to eat and kind of fell into a food coma. Show the up close of the tag on the bottom that we put on there.
oh yeah. Let's see. Whoops, wrong one. Actually, yeah. I'm just gonna have to zoom in here.
Zoom in and scroll down
Yeah.
there.
So
So
we had quite a lunch, and obviously he got a little tired on us. But Tom was a good guy. He had a good sense of humor.
he laughed about it. I think we had that ready for Sunday because it happened on Saturday, and
Yeah.
we took that picture on Saturday and posted it up there and didn't tell anybody on the outside of the that was an easel on the outside of the shop.
Yeah. So that was a pretty good store, pretty crowded.
Yeah.
So I was there I did a couple seasons at Christmas help. What else we got? See, check through the years. So here's a more formal picture of getting to know Tom. This was at Euro West. We had these pictures
Yep.
are from Euro West. This was in 2010. Um, and what did we have a picture of? Here we go. Let's see if I can pull this one up. Yeah, I'm gonna jump around here and see if I can get to it. So yeah, Euro West. Tom would be there. We kind of come in, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. The CS2 was just sort of new, which you can see on the table. This was in 2011, and you can see me being studious reading one of Tom's articles, and Rick was up there schooling Tom, as he put it. Yeah, we ended up finding out certain ways to work with the CS2 because we definitely had time dedicated on trying to figure out what it could do.
Well, we were building the layout at your house and coming into problems and finding solutions that Tom really liked the way we thought and came up with solutions.
Yeah, yeah, it was good fun there. So let me, if you want, I can go forward a couple of years because this is in 2011, and my pictures are not in order. This is 2014.
2014, it says.
Yeah. 24. By the way, so that was probably the last year we saw Tom. Actually, 2012 was last year we actually saw Tom at Euro West. Um, and
Yeah.
then we actually had a picture. I don't know if I pulled that picture up. We had a picture of you when you first built the the the
The show layout.
suitcase layout.
Well, yeah, that was a demo layout.
Yeah. And so let's kind of go back for. Sorry, I have to scan through. There you go.
That's the show layout.
Yeah, so this
And
was
there's the demo layout behind it.
these are two different show layout. So that first one, that table layout, it's this one. It folds up like a giant suitcase. And we had that in Euro West because Rick was up in this area at the time. And fully automated, it was a lot of fun just having the trains go around. Everybody loved it. And then now we've kind of developed into this one here. This is our current show layout before it was actually mounted on a quick and dirty put together layout. Yeah, it took us a
Yeah.
while to get this on and off the demo, especially when we brought it to shows in different cities. And you can see our the old tabletop layout back here in the background.
Right. This layout took about close to 2 hours, about an hour and a half to put together at every show.
Yeah.
And did you don't have one of it currently, do you?
I don't. Um, I don't recall. I don't remember ever. I mean, I think we took one that showed displays.
Oh, I actually have one.
Yeah, you should have one. I actually do. There's one coming up here. Oh, wait, that's still in 2017.
So here, let me share real quick.
Yeah, I don't. We got some comments here. Yeah, I hardly recognize Rick with his dark hair. Somebody says we look younger now. Yeah, we might look younger now, but I definitely look fatter now.
Me
So,
too. Me too. Let
yeah.
me share real quick, and I can show the show layout
Okay.
in its current form. This is
Okay.
right after I built it. Um, so this is it now. Basically, it snaps together um, in 4 pieces, and it takes me about 10 minutes to set it up. So it's a much faster setup now. The section with all the components on it is the only section that has any wiring in it. Everything else is through the track around in the loop. So there's only wires going from the central station to the uh, S88 and track power to the M84s and brake modules. So that's that. Just a quick. So Curtis can get back to our.
Well, I'm just winging it as we always do. Yeah, I could have. And we had. We do have one question from Richard. We can get back to that in a sec. Richard asks, can we arrange load groupings other than the factory groupings? If you're trying to customize, he's talking about the CS3. If you're trying to customize load groupings, there's various ones to look at, but no. The answer is no. I don't think you can do anything really custom. So, and I'll show you what we're referring to back there in a second here. So this is 2018. Rick and I. See, now his hair's starting to lose his color.
Yeah, it's
Now,
dealing with
now it's all
Curtis.
white.
Dealing with Curtis.
Dealing with course, my little Marklin belt.
Nerd.
This is, basic train. Oh, this is this is your current layout again. You can see the clear track here.
Yeah, that's yeah, with the 2 signals.
Yeah, and this is what we ran in 22. This layout here. I had these little modular pieces, but it was actually too big. I mean, because each of these were uniform in size with the end pieces, these corner pieces. A pain in the butt to store, but I didn't have a full module. Didn't need to build those. These are what we used for a while at Euro West. This is
Oh,
currently
yeah.
what we
Everyone's
have.
commenting about my hair. It's really messy there because I just had my visor on.
Yeah, he had his eyes.
Hmm.
All right, and this is 2017. God, did we not actually have a layout then? Oh, it's over here, probably lower corner.
Yeah.
And this is what Euro West looks from above. Big swap meet for you guys. And you can actually see there's Tom in the top. That's the top of my head here. Here's a friend of ours, Mike, who recently passed. And there's Rick.
You got a better picture of Mike later.
Yeah. There you
Look
go.
at me looking all official. Look
With
at
his
that.
nerd glasses. So there's a number of things I was giving Rick a hard time about. He's like the spoiled stepson for Marklin. I mean, we got Rick's got the Sinclair car, which I'll quickly stop so you guys can
Oh
see.
no, it's a set of 3.
Oh no, I'm just gonna show one because one is enough for your ego.
You're still sharing.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
So one's enough for your ego. So Rick was able to finally get us to contribute. He contributed his name to the Marklin lineup.
It took me 10 years of bugging them to do Sinclair tank cars
Yeah.
to finally do Sinclair tank cars.
So that was from our good friend Yanko. He
Yes,
helped
thanks,
us
Yanko.
helped get this
He
done.
pushed that through for me.
And then let's go back to the picture now. You tell them about your tie.
My tie. Oh yeah. So this was soon after I got married, and Yanko was the export manager at the factory, and he came to the wedding. He was here in the U.S. and he came to the wedding, and along with Gail and Stacy, our general manager and marketing manager, and I saw Yanko's tie and I said, you got to get me one of those ties. So he literally took it off and gave it to me right there. So not right then. It was like right after the wedding when it was done. But he gave me that tie. So it's a Marklin tie, basically. It has a Marklin logo all over it. You can't really see it in there.
Yeah, it's a little too far away. But I think those are the only 2 pictures we had of you and your tie.
Yeah.
So, but that's a good picture of him. He almost looks decent.
Almost looked like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What about the other ones we were
Rick,
showing? Oh, here we go.
what other one are you talking about? So Rick and I had this brilliant idea. It's like, how come we never have snowmen in front of a snowplow? So I think you and I kind of had a contest to see what we come up with. So
We both came up with the idea. We said, okay, put the snowman in front of the snowplow, and we didn't tell each other how we were going to do it or what we did. We just did it and then presented them to each other. So,
yeah,
yeah.
because we
So,
were, again, we were Christmas help at the local booth, so we kind of did that for that, didn't we?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was hilarious when we had that running around on the layout.
Everyone loved it.
So
Got to remember that for Milwaukee coming up.
yeah. Let's see. There's a better picture for us. So this is on our little separate years. The other reason why we kind of had this test layout too is when we go to Eurowest. Originally, when we went there, we went to assist Tom by keeping some of the visitors away from him because they would always ask Tom to test their trains. And, Tom was a representative. So Rick had the idea, why don't we go there and help and we'll test and we'll work on folks' trains for them. And so that's how we kind of got more used to doing that task at Eurowest. And it was good for Tom because they would come to us when they wanted to see if the trains are working that they were buying. So it was kind of a good service.
And they still do.
And we still do it.
It was free. We'd change the tires or the light bulbs if it needed it, oil it for free, just a little quick maintenance on it, and tell them whether it worked or not. So
yeah, and Rick would actually keep the abuse down to a minimum, so that was a good thing for them too.
yeah.
Here's a presentation, a rare presentation. We haven't done a presentation in a long time. This is introducing the CS3 2017. And this is my presidential days for what, a year? Was it 2 years I was a president at EuroWest?
I think 2 years. You were president, I was vice president.
ET at in the San Francisco Bay Area chapter. There you go. There's a smirk. There's an evil smirk right there. So
I probably said something.
Yeah, a wise guy. Kids. There's Rick. I think we know this guy. I don't know. Is he here?
Gary.
Gary, you here?
Gary? No, I don't see Gary on the list. He's usually, oh yeah, Gary's here.
Yeah. Hey, Gary. By the way, this guy here on the left, this is the layout that I'm converting in the current articles. That's his layout. So, Andreas. So, and I think that's the end of my photos.
Thought you had one outside. Oh, you don't want to do the alpha races or?
We can do the alpha races. So we're kind of bouncing all over the place. I gotta close this window though, because every time I open a window, it wants to open a new one. So this one of our Years at Loco booths. You wanna preface this one? This is the outside.
We were bored.
We were bored. So to
Which
speak.
one is it? The outside one?
Well, I can show all. Yeah, it's the outside one. So
we had
they went on a cruise. There was
yes,
wasn't a world
the
cruise.
shop owners went on a cruise on the Queen Elizabeth II it was a 6-month cruise around the world, and they needed someone to run the shop. And both Curtis and I were smart enough to say, no, we don't want to run the shop. But they got a friend of ours to do it, and we still worked there with them. And so this was one of our endeavors outside the shop. We set this all up. There's Mike, good friend of ours. He worked there too. And he is one that just passed away there on the left.
And this is Bill, who
That's Bill.
Volunteered to help run the shop.
Yeah, so he was in charge, and we let him. And so yeah, we just staged this picture, and this ended up going on the shop computer as the screensaver, wasn't it?
I don't know if it was this one or one coming up. Here we were.
That one. No, it wasn't that one.
It was it this one?
That was it.
Well, it could be that one or this. I think I don't know if I have a close up of the sign.
That's the one we put on right there with
That's
Bill
the one
looking
we
at
used.
the,
Yeah, we had snacks, smoking cigars, obviously.
So yeah, that was us.
Yeah, so
That's
you
our
can.
sense of humor.
There's our weekend special: buy one get two free. You guys missed out on a great sale that weekend there. And this was, obviously you can kind of tell Rick was 40. So
Yeah, at the time I just turned 40. Yes.
yeah, his hair still had color and really shaggy.
Yeah. I love
And
those
then
shoes.
let's see, what did we also? So now we can probably show some of the races.
So in that time frame, we were a little bored on a slow day, and we decided to have drag races with our alpha locomotives.
So I have a couple of perspectives. I have more videos than you guys really need to see. So
Yeah, we don't need to show everything because we want
Yes.
to get into the look what I got next. So
Okay, so let me kind of. So these are going to be.
And unfortunately, YouTube really chops it up, so you're not going to get a whole lot of detail. But we literally drag raced alpha locomotives.
Let me back this up.
Oh, it's actually coming through okay.
Oh, mine kicks off first, but his has top speed.
Oh, that was in reverse.
That was in reverse.
All right, so let's see. I got another one here, so I'm gonna have to do reshares here. We actually have here's one. We'll do maybe like 3 or 4 of these here really quick. So open that up, share.
Oh, that one's
There we go.
Yeah, we just ran down the whole length of the store there.
Took track right off the shelf.
Okay, close that out, and I'll show an overhead one. I think at one point we actually loaded up different cars here. So.
And I remember tuning up the motors to try and get them to go faster.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
See, this is why you never want us to mind your store.
Yes. We will find ways to occupy our time.
Yeah, so that was our good time.
Let me share a couple pictures.
Yeah, we have so we were notorious for every once in a while doing gags at the shows. I actually have the Batman logo, and we can talk about that one. But you have
Oh
photos.
yeah,
Why don't you
the
show
back.
those?
Okay, let me share these real quick.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of Curtis.
Great. Oh, great.
Okay. Look all giddy and excited. And let's see. And now let me find it here.
Now you got to show yours as well, man. You can't just put my.
No, there's a
Oh, no,
picture
that
of
one.
me.
That's the other one. Yeah.
Look at that hair. Okay. Now this was actually the day we signed the contract with Marklin. We're acting all excited.
Yeah.
So
I hope
yeah.
it's the one I'm thinking we're doing.
Yeah, that was a fun time. This is a funny picture of you. I do like that one.
Yeah. I don't even have that picture. What was that? It was like.
And then there's the you've probably seen Curtis's background of his computer every once in a while. We went to the local hobby store like royalty because we had just signed the contract with Marklin, and Curtis with his bagel and on his old stale bagel and his scepter, and yeah, I
And
actually
my,
have a ring pop on.
I have.
And I do have a video of that somewhere where Keith, the general manager, we had him actually kiss the rings. Curtis
Oh,
has a ring pop on also.
that's right. We have that video where he couldn't stop laughing.
He couldn't. He was laughing
That
so
was
hard.
so funny. Yeah, I've got my Christmas tree apron on over my bathrobe, and we've got our cruise medals on, obviously.
Yeah, and I have a Marklin towel and Talbot's hat in the crown, which is the where we were, Talbot's Toyland.
It's as close as we get to royalty there. So
Yeah, just yakking it up. And here you go.
So where was it? Which show was this? Was this
That
in
was
Denver?
Denver. That was a
That
Denver
was
Mart.
Denver, right?
It was a fall show close to
Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, it was
It was like the weekend before Halloween or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, we dressed up as nerds and actually did the show on the Sunday in these outfits. We didn't tell the boss we did this. We just showed up downstairs in the lobby looking like this. So yeah,
Those are good.
you never know what you're going to get with us.
Yep. And so other stories that we had, Marklin has a series from DC Comics, and we had this one car, and it's lit.
That's a slider on the bottom.
It has a slider on the bottom. You can see it there. So you just put it on layout, and the bat signal lights up. So was it your idea or my idea? Or we just
Yeah,
had
it was
first.
probably mine, but the thing is, everyone knows that in the comic book and the movies and all that stuff, they always would shine the bat signal out when they need Batman to, come to City Hall, Commissioner Gordon's office.
Yep.
And so because this thing lit up, we would set it on the track where it didn't light, and we wait for a couple people to come by.
No, we'd kind of I think I remember it's like we waited for people to come by and we'd go out and act like the train wasn't on track and we'd put that on the track in front of them.
Well, it was always on display. We just
Yeah, it
kind
was
of
on
touch it or
display.
move it or something.
But we take it off and
Just
we
do
put
it.
it on the hot rails on the track
Yeah, it
in
was on
front of
display.
them, and then we just kind of look up, looking at the ceiling to
Yeah.
see the spotlight show. And
And
go ahead.
everybody, almost everybody looked up to see if the bat logo was on the ceiling, where it doesn't light up that bright. Marklin's not going to make anything that bright for a kid to blind himself with.
Well, plus
But
we're in a
sometimes you
bright
go up
room.
and tap on it and look up. And there were 7 people one time, a whole family, that everybody looked up. And then like the grandfather goes like this and goes, look, then he comes down and looks at me and goes.
Yeah,
But I
that
think that
was
was the record, 7 people at
that was
once.
pretty fun. Yeah, I remember that family kind of were all standing around and they were on like 3 sides of the layout and they all looked
Yeah.
up.
Hey,
So,
I had to kind of plow through them just to get up there to do it. I didn't know if I was going to, get my butt kicked or what coming
yeah,
back, but
that was a funny show layout there. So, ah, cool. Did we have anything else from our history?
um I mean, I think we've kind of bored them enough.
Yeah, you've heard enough of that, huh, folks? So what's on the block next? Are we gonna
Let's do the look what I got.
look? What's in the box?
Yeah.
You said you had a lot, right?
Yes, I do.
Why don't I go through mine first? I guess.
Well, you probably got the same thing I do on certain things. We both have the same interest in prototypes.
Well, I pre-unsealed the box, so. And thank you guys for not packing everything in peanuts again. So, all right, well, we can kind of go. You want to take turns doing this?
Um, no, go ahead because I'll show mine when you duplicate mine.
Okay,
Yay!
if you want, yeah. So one thing we'd fresh out is I guess these are the tin plates.
Yes,
Yeah.
those are the tin plate boxcar sets. I have mine also.
Cool.
Your color's different on your camera than mine.
Yeah, I think it's because of the lighting in
Lighting,
here.
yeah. These are awesome. These are basically reissues. I think all of them have been done before, not individually, but I think the New York Central came in a set of 2. And at one point or another, they have been issued already, but these are nice. Again, the printing on them is so nice and clean. The older ones, you don't get the nice clean colors and sharp graphics on those quite as much, depending on how beat up they are. But
Yeah,
these
I
are
always,
always good
I
runs.
always,
Both Curtis and I like the American stuff
yeah, I
on
always
this.
remember the Rio Grande having that sort of fuzzy edge on the hood of
Yeah.
this. And I could
Here's a
probably
good
pull it
picture
up.
of the where did I go?
You-
Here we go.
Let me pull this one out of the box and I can show everybody the front end here. I'm not
Yeah,
wearing white
obviously
gloves.
I have my Rio Grande, and Curtis will probably have to read my article to know how to make the lights correct.
Yeah, I'll just rerun the video and read your lips. How's that? So here's the top detail for anybody who's familiar with the Rio Grande. Yeah, that's really nice and sharp.
Yeah, it focuses on you, not the. I like the retro box too on these.
Yeah.
Used to get a box like this when I was a kid, and it's like, oh, the possibilities. How much fun am I going to have with this?
Yeah. Yeah, these are sturdy builds because even the steps here,
Yeah,
they're part
they're
of the
cast with the
metal.
body in zinc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I had the Rio Grande, the Alco PA, and
Yeah.
those were actually molded in plastic and I broke one.
Right, those because they were with the doors.
Yeah. So, let's see.
What else you got?
What else do we got? What's next in the box? We have, well, I have the SNCF passenger set.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah. Yes.
Nice. I didn't get that one.
Okay. Well, you know, I need to have more. You know, you accumulate so many locomotives, you realize you're not pulling anything with them. So
Right.
it's probably a good idea to balance that out and get some passenger cars, so, or freight for that matter.
Anything
well.
else you got?
Yeah, I got a few more items. Maybe I got one left. Yeah. So hang on, let me just get under here. That's why I got the big box. I did like this. I wanted to.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's funny, you know, when you look at these things in the catalog or in the box, you really don't appreciate them until you actually put them on a layout.
Well, how many times have both of us said to the other person, "No, I don't like that. I'm not going to get it." And then you see it, the other person's running on the layout, and we have to go out and find one.
Yeah,
I know it's happened multiple times for both of us.
that generally happens when you actually see the actual model on the layout. So
Well,
you
what
know,
I got,
what I
which-
would recommend folks collect a lot and share them with your friends. That way, you know,
yeah,
they'll appreciate you.
I tell you what, I used to be able to sell Curtis anything, and I'm still pretty good at it. I got you showed yours last time, and I got mine here now.
Oh, great.
So, but that's not what I wanted to show you. I got the latest snow plow, snow blower.
Oh, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, you didn't get that, huh? Huh? And then this one, watch. This I'm gonna sell. This will sell Curtis on one right now. You're gonna see me in action. There you go. The gray 52.
Yeah, you know what? I was tempted on that one. So I wanted to get it.
Yeah. This thing is just beautiful. It's a dark gray. It's not like the light gray before. The thing's
Oh,
just,
it's a dark
you know
gray?
what?
Did you say it was a
Let me
dark
take
gray?
it out of the box for you.
Dark gray, you said?
It's a dark gray. She's just beautiful. And I'm just gonna wait for the phone to ring to hear you order one.
Let's see.
There you go. It almost looks black in this. Oh, there you got the gray now.
Oh, geez. You
It's
do
a
have to
nice.
show
I mean,
me.
it's a gorgeous locomotive.
Yeah, that is actually a really nice color.
It is.
Especially
It
the
looks
darker
better
gray.
in real life than it does on the screen too. See that, people? I just sold him a locomotive.
I'm cursed by knowing you.
Sucker. All right. And I just picked this up. I got this at an auction, a live auction, not an eBay auction.
You know, one thing we didn't really talk about too, but as far as history goes, was and probably not really Marklin related, but was our Christmas trees.
Oh, well, those will be coming up. Everyone's seen those before.
Yeah, that's gonna figure. So
Here's what I got, Curtis. 39354. This is a what is this? It's a class. It's a technology locomotive from, I forget what year.
that's the digital signals.
It's a CSUN. So it's the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And the I worked on one of these for a guy in Canada, and I saw it and I liked it. Okay. It's a nice silver. It's got the graphics of the signals when they came out, the first signals.
Were those the digital signals?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And it's got operating pantographs with a C-sign motor in this silver. so it goes and it says experience technology on it. So I thought it was really good, being the digital guys, that we have a technology locomotive. That was kind of a nice little find.
Well, we could probably do an entire episode on some of the novelty goods that you've managed
Oh
to
yeah.
find you have.
And
We
just
should
just
we
so
should do
everyone knows, gotta give a plug. I got my Central Station stands from Curtis.
Yep, I've been programming those. We
These things come out nice. They work well. I
3D
like them.
printed.
They're nice and simple. They lay flat. I haven't glued this in. I kind of figure I would keep it out.
Yeah,
Um, so if it does break, I can just order a part.
here's another
And Curtis
block.
just has them molded in black now, which looks awesome. I don't think I need another one, otherwise I'd say I'd get a black one.
So we've got to put this one together for somebody.
All right. And I got a surprise for you and everyone, Curtis,
Oh
that
yeah.
nobody knows about.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I have a new Central Station.
Jeez. Well, the old
Isn't that sweet?
CS Marklin Systems.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's not a CS1?
Yes, it is. I want to do a display of all the digital controllers. And I picked this up at Eurowest. Actually, Andreas was nice enough to give it
CS1?
to me because this is very out of date. I don't
I
think
think
it's
I have-
ever been powered up.
I have
It doesn't
two.
even have the expansion module in it. It's got the
Yeah.
first version of software in it.
Yeah, show the underside of that thing. Does
The,
it just where the ports? So under the left and right side are two detachable boxes. Yeah, and
Only
those
one of
had
them.
they had expansion ports for those.
This one is the expansion port. The other one was never used,
Oh yeah.
and it's got an Ethernet. Well, the piece would snap in here, and then it would have an Ethernet port to make it capable of doing web updates. But there was only one.
Is that I can't remember if that panel underneath in the middle is the batteries.
That's the batteries,
Yeah, that's right.
because it needed batteries to keep the memory.
Yeah,
This thing is just,
I had two of those.
we loved it at the time,
Oh,
but
that's great.
compared, the CS2 came out and just blew this out of the water.
And this part of how we started to progress with Tom is because we were there with the CS1. You couldn't really program events into it either. They didn't have a memory system. And oh boy, was that slow to start. You think CS2 is slow to start.
Yeah. All right, and I got one more little surprise for you, Curtis.
All right.
And you got to promise not to hate me. I don't think you will. I think you're gonna laugh.
You should say, I should promise not to hate you anymore.
That's good. That's good. That'll do it. I've kind of kept a secret from you for probably 15 years now.
Oh no. What is this?
Remember that one time when you came over to my place and we had the test layout up and we're going to update your Central Station,
Yeah.
your CS2,
Mm-hmm.
and it blew up.
Yes.
I'm actually the one that blew it up.
You blew up my CS2? What did do?
Sometimes you just do a bonehead move.
That's
and
that's the one we fixed, and then that's the one I managed to fix. Is that right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
think so. But and then it's like, oh shit, Oops, shouldn't say that. We'll have to edit that out. And then I went and called Tom. I said, Tom, we got the show coming up and, blah, 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 blah. And so he sent us another one. Remember?
So that's how we got the second one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because I blew up the first one.
And you're just fessing to me now.
I figure it's been long enough.
I'm trying to remember what happened when I realized that thing wasn't working.
Well, what happened was, I mean, I just totally
So
stupid, dumb move.
what'd you do?
Somehow or another, I plugged the track power into track power, is all I remember. I don't remember exactly what I did
Good.
from another power supply or something like that. Something really, really stupid. I have no idea why. It's like,
Oh,
well, you had gone out to the car to get something. It's like,
oh.
well, I'll get this hooked up, and all of a sudden it blows up. It's like, oh no. And so I ran and grabbed
Wait,
some.
so you blew it up when I went out to the car?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I went and
Nice going.
grabbed some Febreze or whatever and sprayed it around, and you came back in and it doesn't work, and you start smelling it. It's like, "Huh, I don't know what happened. It seems like it blew up or whatever." And
Was that,
yeah,
wait, this was in the garage in Belmont.
yeah.
Okay. Nice going. That's the kind of friend he is, folks.
I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell him. I didn't live with that. But it's been pretty well
It's
15
hilarious.
years,
Yeah.
maybe even more.
Well, I did learn a lot when I repaired it because
See, I did it
that
for
was an
you.
electronic component, you know. That's funny.
Oh my God.
Well, thank God I never had to loan you a CS3.
Oh, good. Now I can sleep at night. I haven't slept
Yeah.
for 15 years because of the guilt.
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you suffered for that. That's funny. Hilarious. I'm glad you finally fessed up to that one. So, good. Richard actually asked how to order a stand. Richard, you can contact me later through digital. I guess I think my most common colors I have right now are gray or black. And I won't talk about prices here. So, but yeah, I'm glad if you're interested in ordering one, let me know.
Yay.
Eh, reach out to me. Yeah, no, that's funny. Anything else you care to confess?
No, that's all I got, man.
That's it. Okay. Um, cool. I think I'm kind of thinking in the future we should really do some. We should do a webinar on the novelty stuff we've got collected because you've got some pretty cool things that be nice
Yeah,
if people saw those. Maybe we'll hold that off till the holidays.
as long as you don't break it.
No, no, your novelty things are in your collection. Let's see. Somebody blew up two brand new CS2s because the power cable from the trafo from the DIN plug had a fault in it, and I used the same cable on both. Wow. Yeah, the early CS2s, the 213 models and the 214, the 213 models especially, I think, they used a power regulator that always seemed to be in fine balance. That's from the Zoom. Joe, thanks for coming in. Joe Verdick, he's in Belgium. Come again, see you again. I'm glad you enjoyed the webinar. Talk to you guys
Yeah.
later.
I'm actually the only controller I need now is a 214.
Oh, you don't? I don't. Yeah, I don't. Those are hard to come by because those are only out for a year, weren't they?
Yeah, they're really, really kind of hard to find. I know where a couple of them are. But
So Rick's collecting CS2s.
I got to pay you back.
Uh, let's see. Somebody, we got a question. When will the real Shay graphic be loaded for the CS3?
Probably in the next update.
Yeah, usually graphic icons are included in the updates. And you should, yeah, just kind of wait for the update because I know we haven't had one from that. So usually when icons are kind of lagging, they put them in the updates.
Yeah, I don't remember. I saw something about an update coming out in the next 6 months or something like that. I don't remember. I don't
Yeah.
really pay attention to it. I just wait for the CS3 to tell me.
Do we have a due?
Because
Do we have a due date for next round of new items?
it should be the fall new items should be announced fairly soon, I think.
Yeah, so maybe keep
Unless
an eye
I'm
out for that.
totally missing it and they already have been, which I don't think so.
Yeah, we got some nice history from folks on the YouTube. People who've had F7s CS1, Marklin died. All my CS1s died.
You still have your CS1, right?
Yeah, I still have my CS1. The thing that I'm always worried about with the
I haven't blown that
CS1,
one up yet.
no. The thing that worries about me if I ever connect that CS1 is the track plug is wired in reverse to the CS2 and the CS3.
Yes, you have to reverse the wires.
Yeah,
And when
you
I
have to
tested
reverse
this
the
one,
wire.
I didn't want to change a plug. So all I did was reverse the wires in the underneath the track.
Yeah.
It was just to test it, so it was no big deal. And it actually loaded a modern MFX locomotive. It was
Oh,
really
really?
slow. It did it, and I
Oh, the
know people
CS
have
the
had
CS1
trouble.
did that?
Yeah,
Wow.
I know some people have had trouble loading modern MFX locomotives, but this one did work.
It almost seems like the it almost seems like the CS3s are more particular about MFX loads. Does that seem right? I don't remember CS2s having much issue, but then
I
the
don't really
software's
have any
already
trouble with the
outdated.
CS3 doing it.
Well, I mean, the CS3 was just like,
The CS2, I'm sorry, the CS1 would the technology has surpassed it in the decoders
yeah.
so much that it just doesn't load them sometimes.
Well, I think in the early days of the CS3 and MFX was that when they had new MFX locomotives, the CS3 couldn't find them, and then you had to do an update, and everything was good.
Yeah, I mean the
I don't think that's an issue so much.
MFX started in what the early 2000s
MFX?
because the second big boy was MFX. The first one was not.
Well, the MFX came in when CS2 was in production.
So
Because
the
the
first
earlier CS2s, I don't think had MFX. And then those
37
were around the days where we were going, because we were still dealing with FX decoders. And
well,
then,
yeah, but the second big boy 37991 was MFX.
well, maybe what year that was. You sure about that? That seems weird.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was working on one.
Because I remember back in the, okay, so we, we talked about this when we were planning this show. We were talking about the technology changes that we sort of went
MHI
through.
Insider Club 2004.
2004, right?
Yeah, so it was MFX.
Yeah. So we went through. We were there for the initiation of CS2, the CS3. We we went through the existence of the early stage digital signal lights, the 300 series
Mm-hmm.
that had the separate board with the clip, the programming clip,
Yeah.
and then they went to the MFX decoders, which were awesome. Some of the things we ran into MFX when they first, especially the locomotives. Remember, we had that rush of new MFX locomotives where people were saying, "Hey, this thing ran for like a couple minutes, and now it goes really slow, and I can't do anything with it."
That's because the world of operation was set on
Yeah, the world of operation was
the
real life
consumables.
settings. So if you ran out of consumables, like the water or coal was down, the thing would run really slow. So we went through that growing pain. We had the introduction of the radius 3 curve turnout.
Yeah.
They did
Semaphore
the
signals.
they did the double long straight tracks, which I can't really explain what that was. It was just
It was a 177 and a 188
together
together on with one.
on one
Well, with
piece.
one, the rails were all one piece,
Yeah,
and that was to, um, that was the length of the girder bridge, the arch bridge,
yeah.
which is why
Oh,
they did it.
what else was there that we kind of went through? Oh, we had the mobile station 2, and then the wireless mobile station,
Yeah. The digital semaphore signals.
digital semaphore
And
signals.
now there's another generation of digital semaphore signals that are, I forget what they call them. They're a different color. They're basically in a different color. I forget what
Yeah.
they call them.
we changed over to switch mode power packs, and and then we had the MFX enabled boosters. So we went from the 6017 to 60174, I believe was
Or
the first
yeah,
number, 60175 now. We went from gray to black controllers.
yeah.
The icons, so let me pull this up. Might have to angle my camera a little bit. This is the original Central Station 3 icon. Oh, what a terrible mess.
Oh yeah, they changed the graphics on the central
Yeah, we
station
changed
to
the
be
graphics on the mobile station. I
yeah.
mean, on the CS3.
Yeah.
So those are
The servo, they got a lot of servos in locomotives now for pantographs or engineers to move
yeah,
rather than the piezo motors.
motorized
That's what this one has. This one has the two piezo motors for the
Yeah,
pantographs. And
that
that
was
was a
like one of the
different
first ones,
servo.
wasn't it?
Huh?
That was one of the first ones, wasn't it? Or was
Yeah.
the first one?
Yeah, yeah. The digital turntable.
Yeah. The digital turntable was cool. That was, and then two versions of that one because they changed the color scheme on it, right?
Slightly, yes.
And then,
The mounting
yeah,
bracket for it.
yeah. I think some of the big locomotives we had were the big boy and then the Challenger. Those are all
Yeah,
improvements.
two challengers.
Some of the stuff were pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But as far as controllers go, yeah. Even the evolution from the memory controller to all onboard memory programs in the CS2 to programming events in the CS3 software changes.
And tablet and smartphone phone control.
Yeah, we went from the main station app on an iPad, which was pretty much for the CS2, to a browser controlled app on any kind of mobile device, including a phone. I just helped somebody kind of get one set up last night with that. Cool. So a lot of stuff. It's been a fun 10 years.
It's been short.
The shows got to meet a lot of people, club members, ETE guys, all you folks online with us. Anything else that we'd have that we can shoot through memories? Do we still do with Shuko? Or are we done with that?
A what?
Shuko.
No, we don't handle Shuko anymore.
We don't Shuko anymore.
Pola
Polo.
or the LGB guys, and yeah, and LGB has gone MFX now,
Yeah.
which personally I think it's great. A lot of that's kind of a thing. The LGB guys seem to be worse than HO guys in respect to converting to digital. These guys just latch onto analog and they don't want to switch.
Well, the LGB guys are also battery powered sometimes and live steam, you know. To some degree, I can get it for the outdoor users, having wires exposed.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You Is there any instruction for setting up the iPad command app to my CS2?
You'll have to talk to the module group because they do that. He's in my SoCal chapter.
Yeah. If he's doing that for home, then
You have to have the app. You can't buy it anymore. You have to already have it.
yeah. In your CS2, and the thing is, if he's talking about CS2 connected to the CS3, you can't do that at all, because the CS3 is going to end up being the master,
Yeah.
and the CS2 won't recognize. It's the main station. Yeah, it's kind of outdated. I don't even think the only way I can run main station is on an old iPad, and I don't even know how it works with the new iPad because you can't download it anymore.
No. I have them, but I don't even use them anymore.
Yeah. So that was the other thing that I ran into with my customer, is that he he didn't properly save the CS2. He didn't slave it. He didn't properly slave the CS2 to the CS3. So it was actually around a different track library on his CS2, but it caused conflicts on the layout. So
Were
now
the
you
two
got,
trying to run the same route?
he says, he was telling me, he says, why can't I run the locomotive on the CS3, but I can run it on the CS2? Because he didn't have it properly slaved. So, or auxiliary. It wasn't set as a proper auxiliary unit.
One thing that has come up with to me, and it came up again today, working on that big boy I was just telling you about, is I fixed it, I put it on the test layout, and it didn't run very well. And I
Yeah.
bring it back into on the workbench, and it ran fine. And I had forgotten that I switched the what it's 6019 no 60045 power supply
Yeah.
to 15 volts.
Oh, that's
And the
right.
big boy doesn't like 15 volts, not with that big motor and driving two bogies and sounds. It did not like it. So
That's the one gauge one?
no, it's HO.
It was the HO?
Yeah.
So you had to switch it from what voltage? I forget because I've
There's
never.
there's a switch on the power supply to be 15 volt or 19 volt. 15 volt
Oh.
is more for N gauge
Oh.
with the central station.
I was
And
wondering why
so,
why 15 volts wouldn't work because that's the lowest volt. That seemed to me like the lower voltage for HO, but it has to be 19 volt settings.
yeah, for HO, you want 19 volts. So,
But that's not the one you use for one gauge, right? You'd need the one.
no,
Yeah.
I use the LGB power supply, the 5 amp.
And that 19 volts it still runs at 3 amps, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so for you folks who don't, we're kind of talking around you. The one gauge and LGB stuff is kind of rated for 5 volt, 5 amp output on our power supplies, whereas the HO stuff and smaller run on 3 amp. So,
And so the HO power supply is not for G gauge, but the HO
right.
power supply can go down to 15 volts for N gauge.
Well, you know what's funny is because I was in my one of the first LGB garden shows, and we had 250 feet of track, but all I had was the HO power pack.
Yeah.
I was able to run two locomotives for a good 4 or 5 hours, and then it would start to cut out because it was just kind of overheating. So, but the thing is, you could run two locomotives on it at 250 feet of track, and that's without feed wires. I had a single feed wire on a 250 track loop.
We do stuff that we don't recommend at shows.
Yeah. So that's how we figure out recommendations. We do something that's wrong.
And we have a lot of recommendations.
Yeah, yeah, we can recommend anything. So,
Yeah,
right. Yay. How many more of those you got left?
I got 3 left.
Okay, we can either wind down now or wait till you pop all 3 of those.
No,
What do you got?
no, we
Anything
can
else?
take
Any other
any
questions? Yeah, we can take questions if anybody has one. And
comments,
really,
funny stories.
thanks for your comments across the board.
Yeah, thanks
It
for those.
really was kind of fun being here for the 10 years. Well, I mean, 5 years, 4 years for webinars, but doing the articles. As always, we kind of beg for topics because we're always running thin. And yeah, thanks for that comment. Yeah, Rick, I'm gonna have to get him back some way or the other.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah,
I,
no,
I,
I
I
get it.
hit it on purpose.
Coward.
Yeah, man.
We do have a
You're
question. How far between feed wires on HO? My recommendation usually is like 6 linear feet,
yeah, 6
which
to
would
8.
be what, say approximately 2 meters if
Yeah.
you need to be metric.
You want to reinforce the code.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's really not necessarily about trying to make sure you have power on the layout. It's really about making sure you have a strong digital output or digital code, because that's where everything's set. We have somebody who wants to talk, Marklin Zeit. So let's I have you on screen. You can you can open up your microphone if you can.
Yeah,
It's
unmute it.
muted right now. Oh, he's on YouTube as well. He's viewing us in two sources.
Well, we got a real fan there.
Yeah. You're I have you. If you want to talk, you need to unmute your microphone. If you can do that. There you go. Hi. Oh, you remuted yourself.
Hey, while we're waiting,
Oh, you pushed the wrong button. Yeah. So you want me to lower your hand? Is that correct? Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Yeah. No worries. No worries. I think Rick would say learn how to use your computer, but I'm nicer than that.
no, I only say that to you.
Oh, you didn't have a microphone anyways. That's okay. It's all good. Good that you're here. You you are on the receiving end of our how do you want to say
Sense
it?
of humor.
Reverence.
Poor sense of humor.
Yeah, poor sense of humor. All right. It doesn't look like we have sort of any more follow-up questions. Yeah, Rick, if you guys are interested in that stand, you can reach out to me. Get those 3D printed. All about printing it, delivery and time. Anything else you got?
No.
Should we, is there anybody we need to shout out, like our boss?
No, I shout at them every day.
Okay, good for you. And we want to thank Tom in post, Tom Catherall being our predecessor.
Yes. We always liked spending the weekend with Tom.
I also kind of like to thank Yanko. I'm glad he was there for us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yanko Frankie.
Uncle Frankie.
Yanko Frankie. We had, as far as viewers, I think we kind of peaked at maybe 20 on
23.
23 on.
But then again, for some reason, Curtis, you're still a participant, or
Am I?
you're still on the list.
Yeah, and we had we had a number of people. I think we had 12 people watching on YouTube as well.
Really?
Yeah.
I
So it was
confess
good.
to everybody, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, next time you see Rick at a show, be on guard. Don't bring any equipment and walk away from him. Probably blow it up.
Not if I have Febreze.
We had some great visitors. We had some people from New Zealand out here. Thanks for joining us. Belgium.
I mean, he picked this thing up. It's not working. It doesn't. It smells blown. Vividly remember that part.
I'm surprised you didn't break up when I said all that stuff.
Oh, I'm terrified. I didn't have the money to buy another one, so I had to go talk to Tom.
Oh man. What did Tom say when you told him this? You told him you blew it up, right?
I don't remember. Probably not.
Oh, you didn't tell me you blew it up?
I probably said
just
you blew it
pandered
up.
for another CS2? Is that how that works?
Yeah.
Nice.
I probably
going.
said, I probably told him you blew it up, and he said, okay, I'll just send you guys one.
Oh man. That's hilarious. Yeah. That's how it goes. Yeah. Well, that's hilarious. So
Now.
yeah. All right. Well, I think I think we're at our 2 hours. Man, we've gone 2 hours.
2 hours. We haven't gone 2 hours in a long time.
Yeah, for 10 hour, and I guess people were moderately entertained. If not, we did. I see some great comments. Vincent and Mountain View. Yeah, cool. All right, little shout out to you guys. Wish I had. Too bad people are gone. We name every name that we see out here, but anyways,
Especially
thanks
the
for.
original Curtis Jung.
I hope you after we're done here, go take your Tylenols to recover from my article. Wait for next.
Yeah.
next one.
And all my gunpowder.
And your gunpowder.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How many? Last one?
There you go.
It's funny how we can't hear that.
I know it's too loud.
Yeah. Was that the last one?
That was the last one. Now you're stuck with this.
All right. That one didn't go this year. So thank you. Happy anniversary. Thanks for the last. Looking forward to another 50 years. Yeah, right.
With who?
Yeah. He's going to be watching reruns.
That's if YouTube's out there in 50 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay. Well, I think we're going to wind it up here. We're going to wrap it up here. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Any shows coming up for you?
No.
No, nothing until
I guess I think that's on the newsletter. I think it's Train Fest next
Train Fest?
November,
yeah.
as far
Cool.
as I know.
Cool. All right. Then I think we better wrap it up. We're going on too long. So thanks again, guys. We really appreciate everything in the 5 years webinars, 10 years newsletters. Real pleasure doing this for you.
Yeah.
Always kind of a mixed blessing dealing with Rick, but
Never know what you're gonna get.
he's like another brother, you know.
The one you want to beat up
Yeah. The one.
because I broke your toys.
Yeah. I'm gonna go stare at my CS3 and go, and I think that's the one I fixed it, and because it was stable, I gave it to John Green. That's the one I think I gave to John.
That's right. You did. You did.
So
You did. So it's out there in North Dakota now, I think.
still working, I guess.
Montana.
Still working.
Montana, I think.
Yeah, Montana.
Retired to Montana.
So, okay, all right. I think enough long-winded chatter from us. So, real pleasure again, and we shall see you guys in a couple months.
Yes. Yes. Bye everyone. Thanks again.
Take care.
Have a good day.
Yep.